Hey, impromptu video for everyone. I'm out here in my garden, having a nice drink, surrounded by nature. Today's topic, I just wanted to touch on something that hits close to home. That topic is disrespect. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is I personally cannot tolerate disrespect being thrown my way. That is the main reason why I had to stop working a traditional 9-to-5 job, because my mouth moves way too quick, way too fast, more fast than my brain to stop myself from saying such things. What such things do I mean? For example, when I used to work my last retail job, I won't go into specifics, but it was in the pet industry, pet store industry. Almost every day I'd feel like I'd have a customer who would come at me wrong. You have attitude, come talk to me like I'm their kid or some shit. Wrong tone of voice. Don't know. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, past tense. But after a while of the same old bullshit, I said, no, this can't be right. These people are just deciding to come at me cross. And it's happened on more than one occasion where my mouth slipped, or my mouth moved faster than my brain could to stop myself from saying such things. And, I'd get into hot shit for that. Happened into many retail jobs I've worked throughout over the years. So, a while back I decided retail, in general, 9-to-5 jobs are just not for me. Where I have to, for lack of a better term, censor myself in order to better appease the general public, people, or to fit, within the constraints of customer service within any job. And I'm a person who cannot tolerate hypocrisy. How is it fair? How is it equitable that a customer, a client, can walk into your place of business, your store or whatever, and can bitch up a storm, have attitude at you, and you're supposed to just receive it with a smile, not necessarily take it, but you're supposed to diffuse the situation, although meanwhile trying to be complacent to the customer. That shit does not sit right with me, and it never did. And being a hypocrite is something that I cannot do as a person. I'm supposed to just take it and not say a damn thing, while they freely have free reign to say A, B, C, and D, give me attitude and all that shit. And I'm just supposed to, smile and say, why, I'm sorry you feel that way, sir. Is there any way I can address the situation? No. And I've touched on this topic before, where in previous jobs I've felt like I had to wear a mask of sorts. And what I mean by that, hold on, cheers. And what I mean by that is having to put on like a customer service persona, which is not who I am at all, in order to just do my job. And sure, to be fair, you might say, well, you have to do what you have to do to get by in this world. I've come to the conclusion a long while ago, I'm not normal. I'm not like the average person. I cannot simply be okay with putting on a persona just for the sake of going to work, getting a paycheck. My social anxiety, my introversion that I've had for years but have tried to overcome or mask by pretending to be more extroverted than I really am for the sake of a job or friends or whatever. It takes a toll on me mentally. So a long while ago I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to work those kinds of jobs. Does it mean I've taken a hit in income? Yes. But for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm better mentally than I've ever been in a long time. Because I no longer have to pretend to give a shit about a random Becky who wants to take out her frustration on the world, on a random retail employee. I no longer have to be subject to that. But what caused me to start this video today is I was working my, I guess you could say, courier job, and just doing my job today, I received attitude. And I don't know what it was, whether it was the way she addressed me over the phone, or her confrontationalness, or her attitude, but something with it didn't strike me right, and it brought me back mentally to that same place I was at all those years ago when I used to work, traditional 9-to-5 jobs. And it put me so much out of my groove that I had to stop for this afternoon. Well, morning, but now it's afternoon. And it's been bothering me this whole time since I got back home. 2 hours now. And let's see here. Cheers. And I felt like I had to make a video on it. Now in the comments, if any of you watch this really, but in the comments, let me know if you guys have gone through a similar experience and how you guys have coped with it. For me, though it may not be a healthy coping mechanism, I like to have a smoke, pour myself a drink, and just disconnect from, I don't want to say the rest of the world, but just from the moment, and just surround myself with what I feel is peaceful. And for me, sitting here in my garden, that's what I feel is peaceful. I'm a man of simple pleasures. I could sit in my garden all afternoon, having a smoke, drinking, listening to music, and just taking in the sights and sounds and smells. And I'd be, well, I am happy. Aside from the aforementioned, I'd be happy. Cheers. And it is moments like these where I take a step back and have a drink, have a smoke, where I can collect my thoughts and center myself and detach myself from the situation and find my zen. But I wanted to make this video because me being who I am, I feel it's, I don't know, perhaps these people did not get raised right. Perhaps they feel like the whole world should be put on a pedestal to them, and you know, we're all just secondary characters in this story called their life, you know. And we're meant to serve them. Everything is meant to serve them. I don't know. I only know what goes on in my head, and I don't know what goes on in other people's heads. What I do know for sure, for me personally, is this experience reaffirms my already held beliefs that people in general, no matter where you go, will be shitheads. There will always be someone who wakes up on the wrong side of the bed and wants to take a shit on your day, or, you know, because they're feeling miserable, they want to spread that misery onto you. And that can't be avoided. Sorry, I'm blowing. This fly is trying to land on me. I thought they didn't like cigarette smoke. Or maybe he smells the alcohol. But, point being, it is an unavoidable facet. So, the video cut out because my battery was low. Didn't even pay attention to that. But leaving back where I left off, I suppose it's just another facet of life that I have to account for. That I have to deal with. Part and parcel of partaking in society. Experiences like this, going off topic for just a brief moment, experiences like this, for me as a social introvert, only really reaffirmed to me that I much prefer being alone. And by being alone, I don't mean like 100% alone in everything, but interactions like these, out in public, just trying to do my job, trying to get a check like the rest of us are, and, you know, to face bullshit like this, I much prefer working something where I can be alone. And the courier job is precisely that. It's a type of job that allows me to work alone and to minimize the amount of bad interactions, I guess, or limit the interactions I have with people that could, you know, potentially lead to such bad situations, shitty situations where, you know, I get shit for no reason. But to go back on topic, I'm just disappointed in general at the general public. Not everyone, you know, because it's not good to stereotype everyone, but I'm just disappointed in the general public that wakes up this type of way and decides, yeah, look at this beautiful day outside. I feel the best course of action for me is to, what? Shit on a random stranger's day, spread my poison, my hate, my negativity onto them so they can feel as shit as I do. I don't get that. Never made sense to me, and it is another reason why I don't think the same way as most people, and I don't see things the same way as most people do. And like I said before, my mouth moves way too fast for my brain to catch up on. And so my mouth will let you know how I truly feel before my brain can, you know, filter out the choice words and say something a bit more tame to voice to you my displeasure at what you're saying to me or what you're, you know, coming at me with, type of energy you're approaching me with. There's one thing I wish people in general, not just you guys who are watching this video, but there's one thing I wish people in general could take away from this video. You don't know what what your average person is dealing with when they wake up. And the same goes for, for them to you. They don't know what you're going through. So, do not come at them with some bullshit. Hey there, good morning. So what I would say is, and this is like some elementary school stuff. It's my neighbor. Elementary school stuff. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Sounds like a crazy idea, right? But it shouldn't be. You want to be treated with respect, treat others with respect. If you wish to wake up on the wrong side of the bed, or if you happen to wake up on the wrong side of the bed, then don't spread it to other people. But to willingly make a choice to recognize that you're in a shit state of mind, and despite that fact, to spread that vitriol, that poison onto another human being, who are you? Why are you like this? Is your life that miserable that you have to spread such things to other people? It don't sit right with me. Never did, never will. And on a side note, off topic, I've been having rough days lately where mentally I've not been doing so well. And I don't mean that on some shit like, oh, I hear voices in my head or whatever. No. But we all have good days, but we all have bad days. For me, the bad days seem to have been coming up a lot, in the sense that some days I just don't have that drive, that go and get 'em drive. Oh, beautiful butterfly. Some days I don't have that go and get 'em drive, where I'm goal driven. I wish to be successful. I want to, feel I can take on the world. There's some days where I wake up and I'm like, today is just not my day. And not for no reason. Well, sometimes for no reason at all. Sometimes I just wake up and I don't feel right. And a good old but no longer friend of mine once said, and I don't know if it's true, but that kind of stuff is a chemical imbalance in your brain. And one piece of advice he gave me that stuck to this day is that going outside and just being in nature can fix that chemical imbalance. And I don't know if there's a science behind it. I don't know if that's verifiably true. But for me, it works. Like I said previously, being out here in nature doing this, though, some of you may disagree with this, so it works for me. I feel so much better now than when I did before I even started the video, that I feel good. I won't say I outright feel like happy, but I feel better. Yes, Mr. Bird, you agree too. On one final side note, I'm sorry that I've been away for a long time, not really keeping a consistent upload schedule. But for me, this channel is more along the lines of something that I upload videos when I have something I want to talk about. It's not really that I'm trying to be like a content creator where I'm trying to work on, like, say, a set schedule and, for comparison, though I'm not comparing myself to any one YouTube channel in general, like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays this, Tuesdays, Thursdays that, weekends another type of video. I just will make what I feel like I want to talk about whenever that day comes up upon, or whatever. sometimes, like now, it may be literal months since I last uploaded a video. But that's because, maybe I've just had too much on my plate, too much to do, not really much to talk about without really repeating myself. And that's one thing I don't like is, to really sound like a beaten horse, repeating myself over and over. Though, if you guys disagree, let me know in the comments. Last one. Cheers. Finally, before this video ends, I want to put good vibes out there. So to anyone who watches this video, anyone at all, I hope you have a good day, as beautiful a day as I'm having. And to keep your chin up, keep your head up. Though there may be dark days ahead, though we may all be in this mess together, as sure as the sun sets, so too it must rise. This too shall pass. So on that note, I'll bid you guys farewell.